Barcelona, in today's match, demonstrated its strength and superiority by defeating Borussia Dortmund 4-0 in a breathtaking display. From the start, the Catalans dominated the game with intense pressure and quick plays that left the Germans with no answers. Stay until the end of the video to find out what the former star and now commentator Thierry Henry said about this Barcelona thrashing of Borussia Dortmund. The game started overwhelmingly. At home, Hansi Flick's team pressed Dortmund from the first minutes, but only managed to score through an aerial play, with Rafinha taking a goal that seemed to be Cubarsi's. After Barca's goal, Dortmund managed to balance the actions, and the first half ended uneventfully. The sign of a massacre given in the first half was confirmed in the second half. Barcelona came back strong and extended the score in the opening minutes. Shaken, Dortmund barely managed to react, and when they tried, they saw the Spaniards' quick counterattacks punish their boldness. Amazed by Barcelona's performance, Thierry Henry commented, "Watching Barcelona dominate Borussia Dortmund 4-0 at Camp Nou was like going back in time." As someone who had the privilege of wearing the Blaugrana shirt, I confess, I got goosebumps during the game. Not just because of the large scoreline, but because of the way the team built this victory. With intensity, intelligence, and above all, identity. For a long time, Barcelona was the world benchmark in attacking football, possession control, and high pressing. When I think of the Guardiola era, I remember how we would dominate opponents almost psychologically. Today, for the first time in a long time, I saw echoes of that team again, and that got me excited. From the first minutes, Barcelona made it clear they wouldn't wait. High pressing, compact lines, and a midfield that seemed to have eyes in the back of their heads. Rafinha and Lamine Yamal dominated the central area like veterans, even with their young age. And that's what's most impressive about this squad. Youth is not synonymous with inexperience, but with boldness and hunger for the game. The first goal came from a collective play that made me jump out of my seat. A one-touch pass, a quick ball switch with Lewandowski, who had an almost perfect performance today, and Rafinha's finish, precise, cold, and ruthless. It was one of those goals you replay several times and it's still beautiful. Dortmund looked lost. And we're not talking about just any team. Borussia has tradition, has a name, and knows how to compete in Europe. But today, Barca's intensity swallowed any attempt at a response. Something I always say when analyzing games is that maturity doesn't come just with age, but with experience and understanding of the game. And Barcelona showed that. It's easy to get carried away with a 2-0 lead in the first half, especially in front of your own crowd. But the team was patient. They didn't rush for nothing. They waited for openings, valued possession, and didn't fall into the trap of forcing a goal at any cost. That, to me, is a sign of evolution. The goal by Lamine Yamal, the young prodigy who is already drawing comparisons to big names. The sharp dribble, the cut inside, and the cross shot were worthy of a veteran. On that, Thierry Henry commented, "At 17, he has a calmness that many strikers 10 years older don't have. When I see Yamal, I remember the first time I saw Messi in the locker room. He was a quiet kid, but on the field, he spoke louder than anyone else. Yamal seems to have that same DNA." Thierry Henry did not hide his admiration for Rafinha, considering him one of the favorites for the Ballon d'Or due to his exceptional performance in the Champions League. Henry pointed out that Rafinha was ahead of other contenders like Mohamed Salah and Harry Kane, especially for scoring many goals without relying on penalties. Henry summarized the performances of Rafinha, Lamine Yamal, and Lewandowski as fundamental to Barcelona's victory over Borussia Dortmund, reflecting the talent and effectiveness of the offensive trio. Thierry Henry also didn't forget to talk about Hansi Flick. Much has been said about his ability as a coach. Some defend him as a symbol of the club's new philosophy. Others question his experience. But today, he gave a masterclass. The game reading was perfect. From the initial lineup, through the substitutions, to the moment of controlling the pace of the match, He knows this club like few others and is achieving something difficult, reinventing Barça without betraying its essence. Hansi Flick managed to balance youth and experience, and that was evident when he brought Fermin and Sergi Roberto on in the second half. Simple moves, but ones that showed tactical vision and respect for the moment of the match. Henry was delighted with Barcelona's brilliant performance, defeating Borussia Dortmund 4-0 in the Champions League quarterfinals. The team showed impressive intensity from the very first minute, pressing Dortmund and giving them no room to react. With well-executed goals and a solid tactical stance, the Catalans dominated the match unquestionably. In the first half, Barcelona was already showing their superiority. Despite some early difficulties, it was through an aerial play that the team took the lead, with Rafinha saving a goal from Kubarsi and, later, Lewandowski standing out by extending the lead. The team's composure was evident, and balance was restored after the opening goal. The second-half turnaround, with goals from Yamal, Lewandowski, and a fourth from Yamal, only reinforced Barca's dominance over the match. On the German side, Henry couldn't find anything positive. He said, "Dortmund looked disorganized and apathetic. Brandt and Royce barely showed up, and the defense had a disastrous night, especially Schlotterbeck, who was involved in almost every dangerous play. I know playing at Camp Nou isn't easy, especially against an inspired Barça, but there was a lack of attitude, a lack of courage, a lack of Dortmund." Henry acknowledged that this overwhelming performance by Barcelona is no coincidence. Throughout the season, Barcelona has shown impressive growth. Under the leadership of Hansi Flick, the team has been consistent across all competitions. In La Liga, the team remains strong in the title race, with an offensive and balanced style of play. Furthermore, Barça has shown resilience with standout performances against Europe's top teams. Players like Lewandowski, Rafinha, and young prospect Yamal have been standing out, creating a dynamic style of play that has left opponents struggling to contain them. The team has stood out for its counter-attack speed, defensive solidity, and, of course, its ability to control the game when needed. Thierry Henry stated that Barcelona has proven it is among the best teams in Europe. With high-level individual and collective quality, the Catalan team continues to pursue more titles this season and is certainly one of the top favorites to win the Champions League. Now, I want to hear your opinion. Do you agree with Thierry Henry's view on Barcelona's team? Leave your opinion in the comments. If you like the content, leave a like and share. See you next time.